It's back!
Season 2 of Loki has finally finished and is better than the first one. The first season of Loki was the best show that came out of Phase 4, which I don't think no one can argue because it's just a fact, and whoever disagrees probably hasn't watched it and probably needs to right now. Like, go click it and watch it. I haven't reviewed the first season of Loki in this channel. I eventually will, but I just have to review the first 3 phases of the MCU before I can review Phase 4. But I did watch the first season of Loki when it first came out and I loved it a lot. So I was excited when they announced Loki was getting a second season, which so far is the only MCU show that it has. Oh wait, I forgot about that. But before I can talk about this show, this is warning about spoilers, and I suggest for you to watch season 2 of Loki because it gives me hope for the MCU. Final warning, and now to the review. So did season 2 improve from season 1? Yes it did, by a lot. This season gave us a lot of great moments that blew our minds, and to be honest, caught me off guard sometimes. But let me just say, I love that this season has a lot of time travel elements, especially with Loki having a conversation about how he was put on this path since the beginning, how this was his destiny. There were some time travel elements with the first season, but season 2 has way more, specifically Loki time slipping through time in the first episode. It gives a lot of unique foreshadowing, like finding out Ravonna and He Who Remains have met before the events of this show. That Loki actually proved himself to stop time slipping in the first episode. Also, I love how they show in the first episode how Loki figures out he got sent back to the past, TVA, when Sylvie pushed him through the portal in the end of the first season by showing he noticed the crack on the floor when he time slips back to the present. Also, in this season, we get introduced to one of the best characters of the show, Ouroboros, also known as OB.
Loki, I want to introduce you to...
I'm Ouroboros. Nice to meet you, Loki.
OB is introduced when Mobius takes Loki to him to try and make sense on why he's time slipping through time. And also, he's the author of the handbook guide of the TVA. Well, kind of, since he got all his knowledge from Victor Timely. But the only reason Timely knows the knowledge is because Ravonna left the TVA handbook in the window of Timely when he was a little kid. So it's basically just like time loop of knowledge, which if you ask me is pretty cool. Also, I will say I still love Jonathan Majors as He Who Remains / Kang. And yes, I know there are some allegations about domestic violence with him, but so far from my knowledge, he hasn't been proven guilty or innocent. So there's no way right now to tell if he's a bad or good person. But even with that still be unclear, there have been rumors that Kang Dynasty is cancelled and Marvel will not continue as Kang being the big bad of the MCU. Which I'm bummed about because I love Jonathan Majors' performance in both seasons of Loki and in Quantumania. Which, shameless plug, you should click in the top right of the corner to see my review on the movie expressing my feelings on why the movie is overhated, just in case y'all want to see more MCU reviews of me. Also, while you're checking my other videos, I will appreciate it if you like and subscribe and turn on notifications to show me that you like this video and you want to see more of this. Also, drop down in the comments any movies, shows, or anything you want me to review. Shameless plug over, back to the review. The scenes of He Who Remains messing around with Loki in the finale are awesome, and also his acting as Timely. There are two very similar but very different characters, and Jonathan Majors does an amazing job playing both of them. And even though it seems unlikely, I hope he comes back as Kang and we see him play more variants of Kang because Majors is an amazing actor and he might not be a good person, so we need to find that out, but I just have to say I like him as an actor. Hopefully this doesn't age poorly. Also, all these side characters are amazing, all of them. I didn't mention Obi earlier because I love him, he's adorable, but I did love all of them, especially what allowed them having to see what their life was before they were kidnapped by the TVA. Well, except Mobius, because he didn't want to see how his life was before the TVA right away, because he was afraid what he was going to see, which is a good character moment because he prides himself a lot being part of TVA, and he's afraid that the life he had before the TVA will be amazing and he'll be compelled to leave the TVA and live that life. And then like he gets some closure to that conflict in the end of the show, when he sees himself in the sacred timeline playing with his sons and being happy. Also, I didn't know when to mention this, but why is Miss Minutes so horny for He Who Remains? Like, When her and Timely are alone in his lab, she tells him how they were so close and how she always wanted a body, but he never gave her one, which we all know why she wanted one. I'm pretty sure if Timely didn't trap her in the little device, she would have done a lot of stuff to him that is not very PG-13. Also, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be what happened to Timely in some Rule 34 comic that's probably being made right now. Or they'll probably do one with Ravonna, not gonna lie. Oh shit, I forgot about Ravonna. She was just really important for just like 2 episodes, so it makes sense why I kind of forgot about her. And she was more important and better in the first season. Here, she's just a side villain that's probably in love with He Who Remains. I wouldn't be surprised if they fucked actually. I don't know why I just started sexualizing Miss Minutes and Ravonna. Well, actually, I've seen too many stuff about Miss Minutes that's questionable half the time. But let's stop talking about no stuff and actually talk about some characters. Like Sylvie, she's alright I guess. There's just something about her that makes me feel like she's not as great as a character as she was in season 1. Maybe it's that she isn't the fugitive of the TVA. Like, she was way cooler when she was more aggressive and a dick to Loki. Like, don't get me wrong, she's still pretty cool. But just personally, I liked her better in season 1. Also, talking about characters, there's no way I can talk about Tom Hiddleston as Loki. I don't know how he's gotten better as an actor for Loki than before, because he has played him great before like in Ragnarok, but in Loki, he hits out of the park. He acts like there's no tomorrow. The thing I can mostly resemble his acting is Angela Bassett's performance as Queen Ramonda in Wakanda Forever. I don't know what made Angela Bassett act her ass out, but she needs a Grammy nomination right now. I don't got scenes of her acting because the movie hasn't come out on Disney Plus yet, but this is my favorite part in the trailer.
I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world, and my entire family is gone.
They're acting their ass out. Like past Asa said, his assistant plays Loki like it's his last time playing Loki, which is probably his mentality after Thor 2. He thought he would never play Loki ever again. There's even a video of him crying in the Thor 2 premiere because he thought that this was his last time playing Loki.
Be the last Marvel carpet for you, like
yeah,
ever.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What do I think about that? Man, I hadn't thought about that until you told me.
No. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Tom, no.
It's okay. I can just. I just really miss it, man. And it's been like a really good time.
But good thing it wasn't. And that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to give any spoilers on what I think about Loki in the Thor movies and my MCU reviews. But I will say this, with Tom Hiddleston finally being able to play Loki as the main character, we get to see his amazing acting in full display. And to be honest, Tom elevates the show to another level that won't be possible if anyone else played Loki. And no, I'm not saying the show is only good because of Tom's performance, but with his years of playing Loki and the reputation he has with fans, he just made this show way better than it could have been without him. I don't know if you can tell, but I love Tom Hiddleston as Loki a lot. Also, stepping away from talking about Tom and talking about the actual show, I thought Marvel was gonna fuck up season 2 of Loki somehow, but it was a good thing they didn't, because season 2 built upon more of the lore, especially the message of the season. The main message of the show is sacrifice. Well, maybe, I'm just trying to deduct it by what I've seen in the show. The message is to sacrifice for the greater good. In the season finale, which is the best episode of Loki, Loki keeps going back in time and trying to be successful to extend the loom to save the TVA from the multiversal breakdown. But whenever he tries to fix the loop, he fails. Why? Because he tries to save everything, the multiverse, the TVA, his loved ones, and himself. He's selfish. But after a conversation with He Who Remains, he realizes what he has to do and goes back in time one final time to get approval by his friends to sacrifice himself for the greater good. Then he goes back when it's sent Timely to fix the loom, and he goes outside by himself and destroys the loom, and to prevent the multiverse from dying, he grabs the threads of time and sits in his throne. He didn't want the throne in the end of the day, but he had to accept the throne for him to save everything except himself. Now he's stuck holding the multiverse together forever into the end of time. The message is similar to Infinity Wars. There's no victory without sacrifice. Try and save everything and you lose everything. Loki needed to accept that he can't save everyone. And when he did, he sacrificed the biggest thing he wanted. To be with his friends, his purpose, his destiny. for going to the TVA was always to end up as the keeper of the multiverse. I think this is a good place to end the video. So what do I rate season 2 of Loki? A grade 9 out of 10. One of the best TV shows ever made.